One of the first times I met his family, everybody was like, "Can we touch your hair?" Hey guys, it's Heather and Ryoji of US Japan Fam here, and we are doing a collaboration with Clueless Mama D about biracial couples. I will leave a link below to the playlist so you can see all the other YouTubers who've made this video, but keep watching for ours. All right, so the first question is, what are your backgrounds? I went to school in North Carolina. I graduated and went to Japan to teach English. At the end of my 2 years, I met this guy who, what's your background?
My background is, I was born in Japan and grown up in Japan. Went to Japanese school, college.
He had studied abroad in America for 1 year and New Zealand for a summer.
Yeah.
And we met in Japan at a nightclub. So romantic. But at least I was not his English teacher, which a lot of people were like, ooh, was he your student? No, he was not. Number 2 is, where were you born and where did you grow up? So I was born in America, grew up in America, but I studied abroad in Germany, and then I lived in Japan 2 years. I've traveled to over 25 countries, but he was born and raised in Japan. And
Just said it.
Number 3, what is your relationship status? And it is married for how many years?
8 years.
Almost, yeah. In March it'll be 8 years. 11 years we've been together. Number 4, what was your first impression of each other? So I mentioned that we met at a club. What was your first impression of me?
Wow, hot lady.
And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what my first... I pretty much thought, oh, he's cute. And I wasn't there to pick up guys. I was like a month away from leaving Japan forever, what I thought. I think we met at the bar and then our circles of friends kind of collided, and then sparks flew and drinks were drank, and the rest is history. Number 6, did you think you would ever marry or date outside your race?
No, because in Japan it's hard to find other race. I'm always looking for not race but like personal, like match to my, how do you say, character?
Character, yeah. For me, race was never like an issue, something I didn't look at it as a factor, I guess. It's like a buffet out there. I dated a lot of different races and different nationalities, and I traveled a lot, and it just kind of had fun. Number 7, what languages do you speak and or understand? So we speak English together 99.5% of the time. He speaks Japanese and English to the kids. I speak English and kind of conversational level Japanese. Number 8. Ooh, this is a good one. Is it difficult dating someone who speaks another language? I would say like at first the dating and stuff, it didn't make it more difficult. When you get like, you know, closer relationship and you argue or have to discuss really complicated head-numbing like wedding planning and moving and buying houses and how to discipline your kids and all that, it sometimes gets difficult because it's always in English, because I can't get to that level on Japanese. And he can kind of get to that level on English, and in his head has to like work a lot harder to converse with me on that deeper level. If it's like, you know, really stressful, he just kind of turns off, and then we like, you know, it's like...
We think we don't understand each other because culture is different. Like background.
That's a good point. Like if you come from the same background and the same culture and everything's kind of the same, then you would expect to agree on everything and to just be on the same page all the time, but we're just so different. It's all a discussion that we're very like curious to know how we feel about it and explain to each other. nothing is really assumed. Except when I'm like talking on and on and on, and he's just like, and I assume that he knows what I'm talking about, and then like a month later, it like comes up again, and he's like, say what now? And I'm like, we talked about this. Number 9. Ooh. Number 9, how do you identify religiously?
I am Buddhist. You can edit, right? Buddhist and Shinto. I pray to my ancestor.
I would label myself, if I have to use a label, agnostic. I don't believe in any specific religion as being the one that is correct, and I don't deny any religion. I respect everyone who has a strong faith, unless they're like, you know, killing and really being horrible to promote that faith. I don't respect those people.
Next question, let's go.
I think we want our kids to kind of learn about the religions and be able to choose for themselves. Number 10, how has your religious upbringing affected your relationship in any way? And I would say no. We're not religious, our families are not so religious. Number 11, how did your family feel about your choice in a partner?
I feel like my dad is like, oh, different race, exciting.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. My mom mentioned one time, Yoshi, you should think, what if Japan and America has war? I'm like, Mom, I don't worry about it, and I chose this lady. So
if you really look at it, it's a legitimate concern. Not as much for America and Japan, but for a lot of other couples out there.
13.
13. Do you have or want kids? No longer wanting or. Not sure about wanting the ones we have sometimes. 14. Do you worry that your kids will be bullied? I worry about my kids being bullied and bullying. I think they're both big concerns for any parent, no matter the race or the location, right? If we were living in Japan, I would be more concerned about the bullying being based on how they look, because being non-Asian or non-full Asian is still pretty uncommon over there, and being bullied for that is pretty common.
And also in New York, so many...
not everybody's mixed, but there's like every kind of race and color and religion and country. Yeah, it's normal to be different, so yeah. That's so cool! 15. Do people stare at you when you go on dates?
Maybe.
Obviously. Oh, it's that couple from YouTube! Nobody stares at us. The only reason they stare at us now is because of the 3 kids and, the twins especially. When I worked as a teacher in Japan, definitely got stared at. One of the first times I met his family, everybody was like, can we touch your hair? Like they're curious about like another race that they've never had close connection with, right? But do we get stared at? No, we've never been stared at. We've never had any negative comments or anything. The only negativity I've ever gotten has been online, basically on my 23andMe video, links below. By the way, number 16, what's your favorite dish from your country?
Takoyaki.
Octopus ball. Well, my favorite Japanese food is sushi, okonomiyaki, which is like a Japanese pancake pizza kind of thing, so good, and unadon, which is like sweet sauce on eel. And from my country, it's American food. I don't know, pizza. I love pizza.
I like a hamburger.
Hamburger. I like a hamburger. 18. What is the most challenging thing about dating outside your race? We got nothing.
I have one.
Oh.
Because she's white, like my kids has to put a lot of sunblocks. I feel annoyed about it.
19. What is the best thing about dating outside of your race?
Can have many experience, different culture, and also living in New York, outside of Japan.
The
And
truth
I
comes
can get-
out why he actually married me.
I can get visa, green card. So I mean, not.
They're gonna take it away after seeing this video. It's a
If-
bonus. It's a bonus.
Yeah, bonus.
Okay, yeah. Oh, one thing came up, and actually it was from like a hater on my YouTube channel. The point he had was, one of the things was about like receiving blood. And that is a good point, because when I did like blog posts and stuff about cord blood banking, so saving your baby's cord blood to be used for them or a sibling later on if they ever needed it. And it turns out that a lot of very specific races and blood types, and especially mixed races, mixed kids, so like half Asian, half Caucasian kind of thing, there's not a whole lot out there that they would have access to if they really needed, you know, a bone marrow transplant or something. They would be really hard to match. Not really something you think about, but when someone mentions it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, there are some drawbacks about interracial relationships and mixed kids and stuff. They're very small negatives. They're very not worth considering when you're thinking about dating someone. You know, if your whole family is gonna disown you, that's a little more something to consider. Fortunately, it wasn't an issue for either of us. Last one. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone entering an interracial relationship?
Just do it.
Unless you feel really, really concerned about it, and then think about why you feel concerned about it and address those issues before moving forward, because it could be something that keeps coming up. That is all of the Interracial Couples Tag by Clueless Mama D. And again, I will link the playlist below so you can see all the other videos in this collab, which should be really fun, and I can't wait to see everybody's. Check out the links below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos of us, and usually they are featuring our adorable kids. We have a 4-year-old boy and almost 2-year-old twin girls, and they are crazy. I do a lot of product and travel reviews, and you can follow us across the globe as we travel and in New York City. And yeah, oh, don't forget to like and comment. Who's hotter? Edit.
Edit.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.